Warning. This movie contains adult themes and car accidents, meaning there is a lot of sex in cars. And I mean a lot. We've long admired cars. As tools, they symbolize freedom. They get us where we want to go, sometimes where we don't want to go, and gives us a place of quiet reflection and refuge from the world. They bring us joy, entertainment, and sometimes romance. You think I'm kidding. But sometimes they also inspire more intense feelings. You ever watch those dashcam videos on YouTube? I mean, I do all the time. But let me ask you this. Does it turn you on? Not judging. You do you. Director David Cronenberg, who brought us Flies, Videodromes, and whatever the hell this thing is, also brings us a story about sex, violence, and cars. This is Crash. This isn't the one about racism. Meet James and Catherine Ballard, played by James Spader and Deborah Unger. They have an open marriage, which means they screw about and they tell each other everything about their affairs. Honesty is always good. For example, today Catherine got herself a TSA pat-down complete with cavity search. This was on the ground, so we'll call this the 5-inch club. Okay, 6. Whereas James has sex at the office. They do this to spice things up, as they have as much on-screen chemistry as Luke and Leia. One night, James drives home, reading at the wheel because texting wasn't a thing yet. And of course, this is a bad idea. Look out! You're about to collide forcefully with another vehicle! So, can I keep him? You got your passenger in my windshield. Yeah, well, you got your windshield in my passenger. Holly Hunter is Helen. Whoa, her airbag deployed a little late, didn't it? The collision killed her passenger and turned James's leg into peanut brittle, and his long journey to Ultron has begun.
They want you to walk.
Ah, why'd you make me do this? This is about to get awkward. Do I know you? I killed your husband. Oh, I saw your boob. This is Vaughn, played by Elias Koteas, or that actor I'm constantly mistaking for Christopher Maloney. Here, let me check out your front end damage. Your tie rods are good, but we're gonna have to replace your CV boot. Mary, the neighbor is murdering his wife again! I could be watching Rear Window right now.
How can you drive, James?
You could barely drive before. Oh, such passion. James checks out what's left of his wrecked car and runs into Helen again.
This is your car?
Yep, only 43 more payments. James gives Helen a lift, which I am astonished she accepts.
To the airport, if you don't mind.
The airport?
I work in the immigration department.
Oh, that's fascinating. Hey, have I mentioned I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, USA? That's in America. I'm sure I mentioned it. Traffic is obviously making James on edge. Dude, you saw what happens if you don't wear the seatbelt. But it's okay. What are the odds of that happening again? Shit! Now honk and give him the finger. At least give him that expression everyone does when they get cut off in traffic. Well, thanks for the ride. Just let me off here in the middle of this busy freeway where it's safer. Stare uncomfortably, then make your move. It's okay, you're in an open marriage, and she's single now. You know you can't truly have paradise by the dashboard light without meatloaf on the old tape deck. For them, this is the beginning of a fetish where they are fascinated, titillated, and aroused by car crashes. This must be like porn to them. And I guess they're kind of dating now. Helen takes James to their version of erotic theater, a car show, but not just any car show. Vaughn is emceeing a recreation of James Dean's life-ending car accident, complete with authentic cars, stunt drivers, and bad decisions. Well, they're dead. So, dinner? Don't clap! My appendix is in my ear! Pissing myself is all part of the act, folks. Alright, who needs an ambulance? Me! Popo always busting up the sideshows. Everyone's limping. How are they not catching anyone? Here, have some medical attention. These are medicinal cigarettes from the 50s. They've apparently stumbled into an entire subculture of people obsessed with car crashes. I watch those YouTube videos all the time. The bridge that eats trucks, how not to drive your car, Russia. But that doesn't mean I have a fetish, does it? And a lot of people seem to be into this. He believes car crashes lead to passion. I wasn't trying to kiss you, unless you want me to. Rosanna Arquette plays Gabrielle, and she's sporting her new level 5 leather armor. These are people who were changed radically by car accidents, mentally and physically. Rather than curse their disfigurements, they seem to be welcoming it. Talk about turning into the skid. Vaughn's obsession with car crashes is spelled out.
The reshaping of the human body by modern technology.
So, does he go all Pee-wee at the monster truck show? Looks like James is well into this rabbit hole. Are you sure he's real, and not just your own personal Tyler Durden? He drives like a dickhead behind Catherine for some reason, and this turns our couple on, of course. Next, these two go at it again. She describes all the men she's been with in cars.
Junior pathologist at Ashford Hospital, the husband of a colleague of mine, a trainee radiologist, then the service manager at my garage.
Luckily, with all those pins in your leg, you won't notice the burning when you pee. When they're not screwing each other's brains out, they're watching crash test dummy gag reels and getting touchy-feely.
That's not a dummy.
This exhibit is closed.
I think there's more driving in this movie than the movie Cars. Vaughn picks up a hooker and makes James drive. It's kind of a dick move, isn't it? Now, drive real slow past my ex's house, then honk your horn. I want her to see this.
You coming?
Later, in a car wash, Vaughn cleans Catherine's undercarriage right in front of James. Gabrielle likes to tease horny car salesmen, but when I do it, it's weird. Oh shit, I thought he tore her leg open. Then James has sex with Gabrielle. Where else? In a car. And yes, it's extremely awkward. She's got these leg braces that limit her mobility. She's got a scar on her leg that looks like a... It looks like a... And he uses it as a... Are you even Catholic? After all this, I imagine working on a film set is pretty boring. Then these two go for a drive, if you know what I mean. So, did you get that, D? What have you heard? You just can't have a nice car in this movie. You just can't. Vaughn is cruising for a bruising and somehow finds the Ballards on the freeway. Why didn't you call me? I think he's talking to you. I thought he was talking to you.
Asshole!
Vaughn crashes, but it's not certain if it was intentional. Looks like he's a gunner. And it looks like he hurt a few people, too. But we still have time for one more girl-on-girl sex scene, just because.
I'd like to register a claim for the 1963 black Lincoln.
A close friend owned it.
James gets his hand on Vaughn's car and gives the missus another love tap. Any other couple would find this grounds for divorce. To these folks, it's foreplay. Pull over. We have to exchange insurance information and bodily fluids. Oh, sorry, honey. I didn't really think this one through.
James.
It's okay. She's at least alive enough to bone. Stop it. My vagina's still in the cup holder. Bum 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 bum. That was Crash. Really, that's how it ends. James and Catherine are the perfect couple. At least perfect for each other. They have no chemistry at all. Their characters seem to float from scene to scene, drive and bone, drive and bone. They talk about sex almost constantly, but we learn almost nothing about them. They don't really seem any different at the end except for a new hobby. What do their insurance rates look like? They seem to be a couple fallen out of love, but we never see what they look like in any other state, so it's hard to care. They're also kind of spooky. Vaughn is actually the most magnetic character here. I can't look away from this guy. He's a seemingly open book, yet he's still a total mystery. What's going on inside that head? He obsesses over every detail of car crashes and the injuries they inflict. I can't decide if he's truly mad or just super kinky with an extreme fetish. Ultimately, Holly Hunter and Patricia Arquette's characters have little impact except to give James someone to talk to and bone. We should have had a drinking game to take a shot every time I say the word bone in this review. bone. Both the sex and the accident scenes are pretty graphic. The crash scenes are especially realistic with the aftermath. Injuries are brutal and catastrophic. This does not glamorize crashing one's car for jollies, but it almost wants to. Cronenberg was doing body horror before it was mainstream, but Crash tries to be daring and thought-provoking, but it's slow and actually boring at times. The characters are dull. Unger is especially half asleep. Even when getting rear-ended, she looks more annoyed than anything. Emote, damn it! They have a terrific cast here, and everyone is dialed down to a 3. Nobody has any real chemistry, and I think that was kind of the point. The characters are literally and figuratively crashing into each other. Yes, that was a sex metaphor. You know how thrill seekers feel alive when they start doing the dangerous stuff? These guys don't really go through that kind of transformation. They wreck, they bone, yet nobody seems to be feeling any, oh, I don't know, joy? Even the sex looks like Christine trying to kill Moochie. If they're ragging on technology, saying how it's dehumanizing us, we don't have a frame of reference. Practically everyone in this world is a zombie. And this movie makes me feel like I'm sneaking Cinemax while mom and dad sleep. It makes me feel dirty just watching. P.S. Do not watch this with your parents. Crash is 2 Bs. The subject matter is shocking and probably very polarizing. It's disturbing, it's morbid, it's twisted. They're drawn to death and dismemberment. Pain is welcome, scars are cool. Maybe I'm not getting it, maybe I'm missing the point, but I think that's for the best. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, you know, all that YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna watch some light entertainment. Toodles! Oh yeah.